Alrighty. So as we're starting, I'm just going to mute everybody in TV land and not in TV land, in the Zoom. I got two things, TV land and the Zoom. As we're coming in, just come in for a landing in your body and like offer it the thought of kindness and that you're coming here to like do something good for you that's healthy. And so like maybe not coming in from an objectified body perspective, but coming in from a participatory perspective where we're not here to fix things and make things perfect. We're here to be with ourselves and maybe hopefully get a little healthier through doing this type of work. All right, so let's start standing up and breathing. Inhale, stretch out and up, reach to the ceiling, reach to the heavens, open up, and then just expand out into space as you come down. So you're creating this physical relationship with space as you move through it, reaching out and up, and exhale. And the space in turn is supporting you and supporting your movement. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, bend your knees. And again, inhale, open your heart, lift your chest, look up to the heavens, and then exhale, bend your knees. One more. Inhale, lift, stay up there, and then just reach one side longer and then the other, like you're climbing up, climbing the beanstalk to get up there. Reaching, elongating lungs, ribs, side body, quadratus lumborum, all these things just opening up as we do that climb. And then we're going to shake it out to drop. Shake, shaking out any extra tension, letting go, shaking out any like old crusty ideas about how your body should look. Just let it go. Let it be what it is. However your body is okay. You don't need to be perfect. There is no such thing. So coming into your body like in a gentle, friendly way. Inhale up. Exhale, shake. Shake it out. Let it go. I had a long talk with a friend of mine yesterday about the difference between embodiment and somatics. Fitness, dance, like each thing has sort of a different scope. And I come to this, we're all embodied. If you're on the planet in a body mind, if you were born as a human, you're embodied. Can you do it better? Probably. So if we want to have more skillful embodiment, then we might want to do some practices of movement, breath work, different things to make ourselves healthier. Looking around behind you, spiraling, twisting. So your whole head-tail connection really coming online. Seeing what's behind you, getting into this twist. We are going to do the lymph flush in a second. I just want to get us moving a little bit more before we do it. Then we're going to do another one. This is going to be with bent knees. You're going to inhale, really look up, and then exhale, bend your knees, take it down, and look under. You don't need to straighten your legs here. Sweep the arms out and up, lift and look up. I'll show you sideways. Arch back a little, exhale, reach it out, bend your knees, take it down. You can keep your arms circling as far as they can go. Sweeping out and up. Arch, take it down, sweep it back. Up and arch, look up, take it down, bend your knees, relax your back. Two more, inhale. Lift and open, exhale. Knees are bent. Last one. Lift and exhale. Take it back. Good. And then come up and let's come in and do the lymph flush. So now you have probably got your system going a little bit. I need to blow my nose. We're going to rub our hands together, just getting some energy in between your hands. Anytime you're going to do something like Reiki, any kind of hands-on, it's good just to create the relationship between the two hands, but also just wake up energy in your own body. Taking your right hand to the upper left clavicle, gently massaging. I kind of like think of my hands like grabbing on, like my fingers like little sticky pads, like a tree frog, grabbing onto the tissue and moving it. I'm not digging in deep. I'm moving the tissue a lot from the surface. And I'm going to go above my collarbone and below. So this is the first point of the lymph flush. And we always want to start here. Right hand to upper left. Left side of our body is doing like 3/4 of the lymphatic filtration, and the right side is doing 1/4, but it's also doing our cisterna chyli, which is our biggest. So we want to start with the left. We're clearing the pathway back into the subclavian vein, the vein underneath your clavicle, goes back into your bloodstream, filters out. Let's go behind the angle of the jaw on that same side. Gently. You're not jamming in there. We're not trying to injure ourselves or traumatize the tissue. We're trying to be gentle, but we want to learn to have a relationship with our own touch that is symbiotic. It sounds sad that I have to say that, but that you're not going to injure yourself. Am I doing this too hard? If it feels like it, then yes. Shake it out, shake it out. Other side. Left hand to right collarbone. Gently getting in there, moving the tissue around. So sometimes people kind of go like this and they barely touch it and nothing's going on. Try to get more surface area with your hands so that there is a lot of movement going on. You can try yawning, open your face, relax your jaw, get some movement into your neck and throat. So we're moving from the inside and the outside. Taking that up around the angle of the jaw. If you do feel like, if you feel that your lymph nodes are swollen, be much more gentle, right? We're not trying to, again, be jamming ourselves too hard in there, but working with touch that feels appropriate for you. Everyone's got different density of their tissue, different integrity. And the younger you are, the more resilient, generally. All right. Next place, armpit pack. So right hand to left armpit pack. And I'm getting in there, kind of squishing it around like a sandwich. If you Google the lymphatic system on the interwebs, you can then see like these areas that are very heavy, full of lymph nodes. And that's what we're touching into. I feel like it's always helpful to have a visual image. And let's take it to the other side, same thing. And you could do this every day, and you probably want to spend like 10 to 30 seconds on each area. We're going to come back in. We're going off lymph for a second into K27 points right down here. Here's my inside of my clavicle. Boop, down. There's a little indentation. Just going to circle in there. Moving around my sternum a little bit, moving on top, moving below. You can do it in both directions. You can even do it with both hands, right? You can shift to the other side. It might feel really awkward and weird with the other hand, but it's good to feel what it feels like both ways with both hands. Why? So that we have more dexterity with both sides of our body. This requires our brain to do different things. Accessing different neural connections, creating different pathways, right? Because we do something that feels weird and awkward. That's how we learn. So we're going to do a thymus thump, and you're going to Tarzan. Make some sound, especially if you're not used to making sound. Like most people are especially women. I'm making a huge generalization, so you can discount that if you want, but tend to feel like they can't really speak out all the time. I mean, in our culture, do people really want to hear you tell the truth? Maybe not. So sometimes there's a little blockage in there. Let it out with some sound. Become intimate with your own voice and allowing it to speak freely so that we're not blocking that throat area, that throat chakra. Thymus thump, Tarzan. And then we're going to come into here. So here you can see I have my ribs right there. Bottom of my xiphoid process. Can't really see. Well, it is. It's right there. It's this little divot in the front of my sternum dropping down. There's the ribs. So xiphoid process, belly button right in the middle. We're going in the middle of that. That is where our cisterna chyli is. It's deep into our body. It's not here on the surface. It's deep in there. So we're just going to gently pulse in and up. If your abs are contracted, it's going to be hard to get in there. So you might need to just curl forward a little. Soften the muscles. I have not had coffee, but I'm all wired up. Let's go with the inguinal fold right there, fold of the legs. Why am I all fired up? I don't know. I had my morning walk, talked to one of my neighbors. I just feel energized this morning. I think I rested well yesterday. Let's take the hands behind the knees, right behind the eye of the knee, so right in the fold. Circling, getting that movement of the tissue. And then I like to come around the front and just grab in and kind of move up and down, particularly around my knee, because that's where I had that knee injury. So I like to get that tissue mobilized so it's not getting gummed up and stuck. All right, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Let's do some standing stuff and then we'll get down to the ground. Just checking my camera situation. All right, it's looking good. All right, so we're going to open wide into the shape of an X, and we're going to mid-limb initiate, elbow to knee, crossing our body. So this open position is us taking up the vertical plane, right? Also known as the door plane. Here I am in the doorway, vertical plane, reaching the corners. So opening up into that vertical plane is a very, here I am. I'm comfortable in my body. Get bigger. Expand out so that your tissue can open up, right? If we don't go places, our body doesn't go there easily. Like if we don't lift our arms up very much, it might be harder to lift them up. Not it might be, it will be. And then you're going to take it to the back. Whatever we do, our fascia, our muscle, our system works to help support the thing that we do. So, but especially our fascia. Fascia is the organ of form. It's creating the form of our body. So we want to do things in diverse ranges of motion. Like, so something small, something bigger, diverse environments, diverse relationships to gravity, diverse speeds, diverse amounts of tension. Like the more, like if I only do yoga, there's no jumping in yoga. So my tissue isn't doing something like that it might do. There's not a lot of speed unless I'm doing like a real fast power yoga. We want to train for our body to be able to do all these things. All right, so we're going to do a shoulder circle. Start with just the shoulders and the knees. I'm bending my knees. And as I say, start with just the shoulders. My whole head-tail connection is involved, but I'm circling the proximal joint of my shoulder. Hips and shoulders, proximal joints. I'm going to go mid-limb into my elbows. Elbows start to make the circle. Take it out into my wrists. Feels really kind of weird. And then take it out to my fingertips. Fingertips, big circle. Chest, lungs, and heart can open. One more. And let's go the other way, starting with the shoulders. Just the shoulders, rib cage, lungs, head, tail, just that. Bending and straightening the knees, and then elbows. Into the wrists. I feel like the wrists is kind of like the vampire version. Like I feel like a bat. I don't know why. And then into the full reach out, extend through your fingers. Good. Shake it out, let it go. Let's do one more thing. Arms up over your head. Open your feet wide. Push up through the heels of your hands, stretching from one side to the other. And it's the same like this workout. There are things that this workout doesn't offer you. We're not usually jumping. We're not doing a long period of contralateral movement, like if we went for a walk or a run, right? So it's like we need diversity. You need to do more than one thing. Although, if you haven't been doing anything and you're just doing this, that is a start. Okay, let's just do a plie. So knees open, feet wide. Body is going to be like my sit bones are between my heels, base bones of my pelvis between my heels. My feet are turned out. Not so much that I'm forcing my turn out, but just where I can easily manage and my knees can go over my toes. Sit bones going down between my heels. I'm holding the space in front of me. pressing up, knees over your toes, take it down and push, taking it down and push, working the rotators, but not overworking the rotators. We're not driving the car with the brakes on. We're just doing what we need to do to move with some fluidity and ease. Let's go down one heel and then the other. Just go back and forth, heel and heel. So we're waking up the calf even more, muscles of the shin. Lower leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And one more because it was uneven. There we go. And let's just take it into a forward fold. Knees bent or straight, shift from side to side. Bend one knee, bend the other, free up your spine. If you're kind of tight in your hamstrings, you can do this up here with your hands on your knees or hold onto a block, the couch, anything. Swinging from side to side, freedom in the fascia. I mean, the fascia shouldn't be too free because we want it to support our body, but we want to have hydration moving through us, right? Hydration moving into the tissues. Movement stimulates hydration in the tissues, not just drinking water. Like, yes, we need to drink water, but we also need to move. Let's take it down to the floor, onto your mat. My cameraman is off for the day, so I just have to adjust the camera with my hand. Let's do hamstrings right away. So press up, circles with your hips, circles with your pelvis. Move with the necessary amount of tension. Do not add tension. A lot of times when people in Western world tell you how to move, they tell you, squeeze this, tighten that. And I often feel like people have enough tension in their bodies that moving with efficiency might be a better idea than moving with maximal tension. Sometimes we want to squeeze things, but mostly for movement and mobility, it's not about squeezing. Let the muscles do what they need to do. And if you're moving well, they will be doing what they need to do. And release, come down. So my thing would be focus on making a circle that's round in a range of motion that feels okay, not like too much. And let the body do what it's supposed to do. Don't try and force your body to do something that extra. All right, let's take our pelvis up again. This time, if you've got it, interlace your hands behind your butt, walk your shoulders closer together. We're going to inhale, open, knees wide. Exhale, close, touch the knees together. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last one. Inhale, exhale. Come back to neutral, heels off the floor, heels down, heels up, heels down, heels up, heels down, heels up, heels down. Just flexing your whole foot up. Flex up, flex down, flex up, flex down, flex up, flex down. So your heels on the floor, up and down, and just flexing your toes, up and down, up and down, up, spread them out, down and up and down. Release your hands. Roll it down through your spine. Come in for a landing. And before we do anything else, just take a couple of deep breaths there. Really fill up. You can sigh on your exhale. You can shake out if that feels good. Just let your body soften, especially soften the central channel, but really the spine, the psoas, the deep abdominal muscles, like just let them get soft so that they have freedom to then engage again, right? If we're always contracted, it's hard to get stronger. We need things to release and then engage, release and engage for most muscles. There are some things that are working pretty consistently the whole time. But even if you think of the diaphragm, the muscle of the diaphragm, like it's working in a flow, right? That this, as you inhale, the diaphragm goes down. As you exhale, it comes up. So we want to think of like that whatever we're doing on the muscle level, there's a sense of flow as well. Why do we want flow? Because things move better. It's like, it's like not getting an oil change for your car. The flow is the oil change, is the healthy oil filling our fluid and our movement. And we're less likely to get injured if we have good flow. Hands on our knees, circles. Easier to listen to your body when you're holding less tension. Less tension means more flow. And it like literally means that in the muscles, if the muscles are holding a lot, if there's a lot of tension, it's blocking fluidity, it's blocking flow. It's also blocking sensation. And that's the one reason why we love it. Let me work harder and I won't feel a thing. Not like emotionally, right? Let me work really hard so I can let go of all these emotions. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And let's take a happy baby pose, wiggle around in your baby, let your baby be free and happy. If you know people that have kids or if you have kids, make sure your kid gets a lot of time to move without you trying to like walk them. Like learning to crawl is such a good thing for babies. Like that is such a healthy pattern. And also not spending a lot of time in those little bucket seats. It's fine if you're driving, put your kid in a safe driving seat, but don't leave them in those kind of seats at home. That just restricts their movement, and kids need to move. Babies need to move. They develop their nervous system through movement. All right, that's my lecture. Lots of lectures, back and forth with the knees. And then this is a decaffeinated lecture today. Amazing. Massaging across your butt, just opening and closing, releasing any tension in your inner thighs, any holding in your glutes. Let it go. Open and close. Nice easy spiral in the lower body. And then come in and let's just do a big arm circle. So I'm going to straighten my legs, reach them down below me. I'm going to flex my feet. And I'm just going to do a big arm circle. Inhaling, open. Exhaling as I look down. Inhale as your arms go up. Exhale as you roll up. And then change direction, looking down towards your legs like you're pulling off a shirt. Feeling into the feeling of the movement. What does it feel like to move? And then come down and we're going to do a spiral, knees up. If the spiral is too much and you need to protect your spine, put your feet on the floor and maybe do more of a side to side roll as opposed to a twist. But if you're feeling good, twist. This is always an adjustment for me. This is always the cheapest chiropractor. But it doesn't do all the different places. It just usually gets my like thoracic spine. Try bringing your eyes into the game by really looking in one direction and really looking in the other. If your back hurts, turn your head in the same direction as your legs. So head goes in the same direction if your back is hurting, which will make it a little bit less spirally. All right, let's come in and let's grab a ball or a block, or sorry, not a block. Grab a weight. Only has to be one weight. It could be a book. If you have like a heavy book, I have this ball, it's 8 pounds, but 8 pounds is kind of a lot. And like I'm a pole dancer, so I'm doing a lot of stuff where I'm pulling and I have a lot of strength in my upper body. So 8 pounds might be too much. I used to do 6 holding 2 weights together, but even having 1 pound could be enough for you. And if you have injuries, then maybe nothing and just holding your hands together. So I'm going to put my knees together, feet are wide. You could just grab like a can of beans, a can of pumpkin. I don't know about you, but it seems to me there's always a can of pumpkin in my pantry because it never gets used. Inhale, open, exhale as you come up. Canned food. Change direction. And then come in, bring your legs together. We're going to go a quarter of the way up. And with your arms over your head, like if you're tighter, if you aren't so mobile, if you have any injuries, don't take your arms up too high. But if you feel open, if you feel connected, think of nestling your shoulders into your rotator cuff. So they're not up here, but they're drawing down. And then you're going to come up. Inhale down. My knees are together. I'm not coming very high with that leg. I'm just reaching out. Inhale down. Pointed toes. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more time each side. Up and down. And last one. And relax. Just breathe. Turn your head from side to side. Take a big yawn. Relax your neck and jaw. Relax your tongue. Free up your spine. Shake it out. We're going to do this one more time. Slightly different. Legs are together. You're going to kick across. So I'm just showing you the legs first. I'm kicking. Got my kick line going from side to side. And I'm going to come up and spiral away from my leg. Inhale down. Exhale, twisting. Inhale down. Spiral and lower. Spiral and lower. Twisting. Opening. Use your breath. Good, and relax. Get rid of your ball. And let's press up one more time. This time you're going to have your heels fairly close to you. Press up. Press up with the interest of opening up the front of your body. So you're pressing as high as you can. You can walk your shoulders close together. Push and open. Breathe. Feel your feet connected to the floor. All 10 toes, ideally. Spread them out. Heel, ball of the foot, depending on your arch. Your instep and the outside of your foot may, like the side between the ball of your foot and your heel may or may not be touching down. Open it up and release. Come all the way down. And let's roll over all the way onto your stomach. So we're going to do this. You're going to come into an arch, curl your toes under, arch up, and then head is going to drop, and you're just going to pick up your pelvis. Drop it down. Arch, up, head comes down, pick up your pelvis. Pelvis drops. Arch, up, head comes down, pick it up to plank, drop. Arch, into lift, drop. Arch, and lift. We're going to drop. Arch, see if you can pick up your legs. Toes curl under and push. Drop, point your toes, lift, push, up, 2 more, drop. Working your back, working your front and back. Last one. And relax all the way down. Just let your legs fall from side to side. As if you have a big fluffy tail, wag your tail. So my 3 cats all have very different tails. They're all totally different looking cats. But Peapod is a Manx, and her tail is like a little, maybe 2 or 3 inches. It's very fuzzy. And then Lord Gaylord is like a domestic, normal, short-haired cat, like just a regular old cat. His tail is like not particularly long, but not super short. And then there's Squeaky Beaky, who's like part Meezer. And he's got like a tail that's like twice as long as Gaylord. So like I like it when they're eating to look at their little tails, like tiny one, medium one, super long tail. Everyone's body is different. They don't need to look the same. Let's arch up, reach out, flex through the heels of your hands, circles. And it's the same for us. We're all different. We don't need to look the same or try to look like someone else. We are us. And then take your hands next to your chest, arch all the way up. Take it to a child's pose. I think the cats are out on the back porch. I need to let them in. Rest in your child's pose. Come on. Keep up. You coming? This is the long-tailed kitty. This is the one who was crying out on the back porch. You can't really tell from this position, but if you see him next to the other ones, like it is long. All right. That's the squeaky deaky, formerly known as Zazen, but that was the least, he was just not it. That was not his personality. Arms on front, legs behind. Inhale, arch, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Lengthen. And he's got a really high squeaky voice. So he kind of named himself because he never would respond to us at all with the name Zazen. And then one day when he was a kitten, I heard him in some part of the house like squeaking. And I was like, squeaky deaky. And he came running. So I'm like, oh, that's his name. Arch it up. Take it back again. This time we're going to interlace your hands out in front of your head. Roll up onto the crown of your head. And then release it. Lengthen your tail back. Rolling up, letting yourself have a little massage on your cranium. Release it back. Arching and curling, letting it go. Well, you're curling here. You're lengthening here. Not really an arch. Round it and lengthen. And then come up. Let's do this. So we're going to do regular plank, coming down to forearm plank, back up. If that's too much, just do a forearm plank and hang out there. So if you have any kind of wrist issues and you can't do this, adjust to whatever works for you. Otherwise, we're going to go down, down, up, up. Change sides, down, down, up, up. So whichever one I initiate the movement with, I keep going with that one when I go back up. Last one. And relax. Feel your heartbeat. Breathe. Relax your neck and head. And we're going to do one more thing like that. So again, it's going to be from plank. No, I'm not going to do another one. Let's do it from forearm plank. We're going to change it. You're just going to do one leg up at a time. Just one leg going for 8. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take it down. We'll do this. You're going to come up and take it down, heels towards your butt. If you need to assist with your arms, go for it. If it hurts too much, don't do it at all. If you have knee issues. But I feel like this is one of the things that helped rehab my injury. So I like to do one where I drop down and then one where I take it in a hinge. So I'm doing a sits, bones to heels, and then hinging back. Good. And let's take it. So that should act as two things. You should be getting a little bit of a quad stretch and your quad should be working at the same time. Quadricep, front muscles of your leg. We did a bunch of hamstrings before, so I want to make sure we're also doing quads, which we did in our plies as well. We just want to be working it so we're balancing it out a little. All right, coming on to one side. Let's do kick, toes to knee, kick, and come down. I think I'm going to flex up, point, toes to knee, go up, flex down. Flex, toes to knee, battement, and lower. This is a battement, a grand battement in ballet with a passe, and down. Up, no one would ever do a grand battement with a flexed foot, but I feel like it's great for the tissue in your leg to be working the flex and point, unless they were a modern dancer or a contemporary dancer. Random trivial facts with Laura Ward, which may or may not be true. Check the sources. Last one. We're going to slide it up, toes to knee, turning in and out, going 1 for 8, 2, 3, 4, long body, 5, head reaching away from your tail, 6, 7, 8. Good, relax it, shake it out. We're going to do a quad stretch. So if you need to bend the bottom leg to get a balance, do that, or you can flex this foot, whatever you need to do. Taking your foot in your hand, heel towards your butt, knee can move back. If you don't feel a stretch in your quad, just engage your abs slightly. Then I'm going to just turn in and out a little bit. I want the tissue in my thigh, the muscles, the fascia, to have a chance to sort of glide against itself. So that's what this internal external rotation is for. Also for the femur head in the hip socket, and the external rotators get to turn in. So if we spend a lot of time, especially if we spend a lot of time in turned out positions, we want to turn in a little bit. If we do a ton of like cycling, we want to make sure that we're getting some turn in, turn out, right? It's important that we go in the other direction for the resilience of the tissue. All right, let's do one more stretch here. You're going to grab from the inside of your leg, drawing it up, turned out leg. So if I don't turn out, my butt's going to stick out in the back. But if I turn out, which is fine, but if I turn out, I can get it a little higher, like that external rotation, sit bone dropping down. It's going to give me a little bit more chance to get that up. All right, let's roll over. Just shake it out for a second. Shake it all out, let it go. And then roll yourself over to the other side, however you need to do that. Starting with the kicks, long body. So we're not doing like a Pilates pike here. Legs are straight down below. Use your hand to help you balance. Kicking up, toes to knee, kick up, lower down. I'm flexing up, pointing, flexing, down, flex, point, and come down, up, in, up. You may have enough to think about. Just going up and in may be already maxing out the brain capacity for you. If so, don't worry about the foot, right? We build it piece by piece, not all at once. Unless we're a 3D printer. But even that doesn't build it all at once, right? It doesn't just suddenly appear. Everything's got to come bit by bit. 2 more. I'm super not counting. I'm guessing we're between 8 and 12, probably around 10. Good. And then toes to knee, in and out for 8. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax it, tap it out, and then quad stretch. You can bring your knee in front if you need to. Taking it back. Just hang out in the plain old quad stretch for a second before you start the turn in and out. Stay present with your sensation. Feel what you're feeling in your body. And also like learning to discern, like it might be, wow, I'm not used to feeling my body feels really intense. So then you want to just take it easy. Or it might be like, I am in here all the time, but what does it really feel like? Like really staying present with yourself as you're moving. Good. And then release that. Shake it out. Did I forget anything? I'm looking in the video at Sol because if I did, she'd be the person who knows. Okay, good. Some people know what's going on and some people don't, and that's okay. And I'm sometimes the person who in my own class even doesn't know. Let's open our hands wide, coming onto all fours. Circles with your chest to the floor. Letting your shoulder blades really move around on your back. Head tail free. And change direction. I think one reason I have so much energy today is I had a very energetic morning yesterday. And then I went to pole class. And then I think it kind of zapped me. And so I spent the rest of the day doing work, but reading, doing research, and just being present in just a book, not watching a whole bunch of, not being online for work. And I feel like that gave my system a big break. But I was really resting. Let's go opposite arm to leg. Out, in, out, and change. Opposite arm to leg, in and out, and change. You can stabilize your spine, or you can cat-cow. I'm just going to go with stable right now for myself. Again, we have that mid-limb connection, core distal relationship as we reach out. Reach out, bring it in, reach it out, in, out. And this is a contralateral pattern, cross body, in, out, in, out. And relax for a second. We're going to do the ultimate baby crawl, cross body movement. And that is, we are actually going to crawl on your mat forward, and then crawl backwards. If you need more padding under your knees, or if your knees hurt doing this, then don't do it. Or you could do it like this, right? No knees on the floor. Lumbering. I call that lumbering. Just feeling what it feels like to crawl. This may be something you need to do at some point, like in some little teeny space, or if you have an injury, you can't get up, your back is hurting, try crawling. Let's take it back down to the ground onto our backs again. I feel like I'm getting a lot of exercise. I'm huffing and puffing, but it might be that I'm talking a lot, which I am. All right, let's come in here. We're going to open it up. Arms and legs, you're going to flex, circle your ankles and feet. Opening, opening, opening. Waking up the toes and fingers and change direction. And then you're going to fold it in, elbows and knees, and fall onto one side. Open without unfolding, just open and then close. So thinking of your elbow and knees staying sort of in alignment as it opens, opens, opens. You roll onto your back, and then the other side just closes, closes, closes. Making this as relaxed as possible. Relax your head into the floor, relax your neck and shoulders, and just roll from side to side. This is another pattern babies learn. Not quite like with this arm and leg movement, but not so far off. Rolling from side to side. Really good for our backs as we spend time on the floor. How can you get there? I can roll there. Can I roll from here to there? I don't know. And then let's open through the middle, make it a little more active. Reach it out and fold it back in. Unfolding, opening into space, and then folding it back in, giving yourselves a little hug at the bottom. Open it up. Close it in. Open it up. Close it in. Last one. Open it up. And just bring yourself together in here. Let's just do a time check. Oh yeah, we're getting there. Let's just do a hip stretch down here. I'm going to do knee over knee. So I'm going to come in. If if I have some if my hips are really tight and I can only do one knee, I can do that. If my hamstrings are really tight and I can't even sit up here, I can do this laying down. So any version that works for you. The version that I'm going to do is one leg folded under, one leg on top. Oh, I think this is called cow face pose. Like if we were doing it in yoga, it would be one of these positions in our arms, which we're not doing right now. If you want to do that, go for it. I'm just going to circle my pelvis here. As you're doing the circle, invite yourself to call all the threads of yourself back to you so that anything you have out there that's like radiating towards some other situation, just bring it back for right now. It can go back and radiate out again later, but bring yourself back into yourself in this moment and just feel what it feels like to circle your hips. Really simple. All your energy coming into you for you. Doesn't mean you can't let it go later. But just for right now, bring it in. Change direction whenever you're ready. Energy back to yourself without any story. Just there to refill the well, right? To just bring it in, nourish yourself. The heart feeds itself first. The coronary artery is giving the heart blood before it goes and does the thing for the rest of the system, right? If the heart isn't healthy, feeding itself first, it can't do so much for the rest of the system, right? So we are the heart of our life, right? We are the main ingredient. So make sure that you are feeding yourself enough that then you can help other things, whatever, do your life. Take it down, melt and soften. If you want to micro move in there, little tiny stretches and releases, go for it. Breathe. And then come up, spiral to the top leg, spiral to the bottom leg. Open your arms, take it towards the top leg and towards the bottom leg. And then come back up and unscramble. So the reason I say call yourself in here is that when we've enclosed our system, right, when we're crossing midline, when we're closing in, that's when you want to call yourself back to yourself, right? Let your energy recharge you. Changing it to the other side. Oh, okay. Make whatever noises you need to make and start with circles. So what I have found also is that when we do these circles, like when I'm teaching in like, a big classroom and suddenly everyone's circling, it's like you can just see people come into themselves. So stay present, even if you have to do this in a different way, even if you're not two legs crossed, even if it's one, even if you're sitting with no legs crossed, just circling your pelvis, let yourself come back to yourself, right? Anytime we come in, nurture, heal, downregulate, coming in to digest life, change direction for and with ourselves. So then we have energy to go out there and be with people and help other people or feed people or nourish people or do the garden, whatever it is. Come in. Sometimes doing the garden is coming into yourself. Let's take it forward and down. Surrender and melt. So when we start to look at our energy patterns, like I'm really interested in what's going on with nervous system. Spiral towards one direction. But when we start to notice what's happening with our own nervous system on a regular basis, it gives us more information on how we then respond to things, right? Oh, this really upregulates me. This really downregulates me. Go the other way. Or I feel very energized at this time of day and not so much at that time. We're going to have all the things. We don't want to always be very energized, but we also don't want to always be not energized, right? We want to find the places, go towards the top leg, where we are achieving some kind of balance for our system that is a good homeostasis, a good place to keep returning to. And sometimes like we don't think of our energy pattern like we think of it like only immediately, like now. today like this, but think of it like, well, how is something now? How is it in a week? How is it in 3 months? How is it in 6 months? How is it in 5 years? How is it in 10 years? Like we need to look at life on a much bigger scale. Like sometimes people think that, you go see the chiropractor or the massage therapist, it didn't work, or I took the pill and it didn't work. It's like, well, how long did you give it? Like, how much time does it take? How much time can we give ourselves? And with like movement and body stuff, you got the rest of your life. Keep going. Let's take it up. Drop your head, shift from side to side. And when setbacks come, oh, I got a little injury, let that be a learning experience. Maybe there's something new to learn here. How do I deal with that? What's another way of being with this situation? And then come in, roll it all the way up. And inhale, open, lift. Reach to the heavens. Feel what your body feels like right now. Bend your knees, drop it down, coming all the way down to the earth. And again, inhale, opening up into space, spaciousness, taking it down to earth. Exhale. So we're just doing this practice of like, we're in space, we're reaching to the heavens, the air, the breath, our heartbeat, the water in our bodies, the earth below us, right? It's kind of like a elemental practice, if you look at it that way. You can also just say, I'm just doing fitness, I'm just working out, however you want to look at things. But if you want more magic in your life, invite it in. Notice it when it's happening. Inhale, open, and just shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Let it go. It's all about seeing, right? Seeing, feeling, being with all of the things that are going on. So that, my friends, is what I think. And if you are out there in TV land, like, subscribe, be a Patreon person. Hook me up. And everyone in